Good evening, YouTube. This is Mr. Sasquatch WV coming at you with a new video for you guys. Today's video is going to be an oil change on my Raptor 700. This isn't going to be a how-to video because I know there's a lot of videos out there of how-tos to change the oil on these bikes. I'm sure most of y'all know how to do that. But I just wanted to post this video anyways because, you know, it's important to have fun on these bikes and, you know, ride safely and enjoy yourself, but it's also more, quote, importanter to keep up with routine maintenance on these bikes. You know, you want them to last a long time. You need to change the oil and, you know, flush out your radiator, change spark plug, and do all the basic routine stuff. And yeah, like I said, you want to keep these bikes running as long as they can and efficiently as possible and healthy. It's good to do this stuff. So today I'm using AMS oil, or AMS oil, however you want to pronounce it, the 100% synthetic metric motorcycle oil, 10W40. I've used Yamalube for probably the last 10 years of owning this bike, and made the switch to AMS oil about, I don't know, 2 years ago probably, and it seems to work really good for my engine. And heard some things on the, read some things on the Raptor forum online. A lot of the guys that run Raptors, and they highly recommend AMS oil. It's really reputable, good company, and really good product. And I got this gallon jug here. Now, mind you, it is kind of pricey. This was a little over probably 60 bucks for this gallon jug. But you know, the way I see it, if you pay poo for something, you're going to get poo. So I want, you know, top-notch quality oil in my bike, and I really want to prolong the life of this bike. And this bike's a 2011 model, and it's got some mileage on it, but it runs pretty good still. And I just want to keep up with the routine maintenance and keep this baby running several years longer, hopefully, Lord willing. And got here, going to go ahead and put in a new spark plug. I got the gap set. The climber manual recommends between 0.28 and 0.31 gap. Got the gap set right around 29, I believe. Will that focus? Well, it's not going to focus. Well, that's okay. Here is my old spark plug, and well, really wish this would focus, but oh well, can't win them all. The old spark plug, I noticed it's kind of a little bit sooty, kind of sooty. And going back to my climber manual here, it's actually got a section to where, let me see here, where is it at? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. These climber manuals are really handy to have. It's got all the basic, you know, routine stuff that you can do on your bike, and it's got a section which I wish was in color. Common spark plug condition. So the normal spark plug condition would be brown to a grayish tan color and slight electrode wear. So that's normal, and can't really tell on mine, but I think I'm falling under the carbon deposit section right here. You know, that's dry, sooty deposit. It does look a little bit sooty, and that's due to a rich mixture of weak ignition causing misfiring. And I have noticed ever since I installed my FCI intake, which I did a video on, it does pop on the D cell. It's lean popping pretty good, and thankfully I was able to locate a dealership that does dyno tuning, Sturdivant Power Sports up in Elkins, West Virginia. I spoke to Brandon, and I was just talking to him. I was telling him what I had, and I've got the HMF fuel optimizer, and just telling him, do I need to adjust some settings on it? And he said just to have me bring it up there and let him do some dynoing on it and get it, you know, tuned in and running right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold off riding it until I get that done. And until then, I just thought I would do some oil change and spark plug change. So what I like to do is, anytime I do a oil change, I like to get new seals for my oil filter cover here. I like to use the Bel-Ray waterproof grease and put it around my seal, just to help it keep all the water out and keep it sealed up really good. And this little guy right here, like I said, I like to get all new seals when I do an oil change. This little guy's going to go in there, And I ended up getting some new bolts too, cover bolts, because the downside about these OEM bolts, you can strip them out pretty good, and which is why I got new ones, because I actually stripped out one of them last time I did an oil change. So it's very important to not overly tighten these bolts. You want to just put your wrench on there and just, you know, snug it up real good. You don't have to keep it overly tight. I've got my fuel plug, which is a Nesensi brand. Nesensi, however you pronounce it. Got that up there, new seal. Alright, so let's just dive into it. And another thing too with oil changes, I like to use an OEM oil filter. I know a lot of guys will use aftermarket oil filters, but I was always told it's best to use an OEM oil filter. Now this oil change that I'm doing, I don't believe there's a right or wrong way. I think everyone has their own preference. I've noticed some videos guys will pre-soak their oil filters. I like to pre-soak my oil filter. Do I believe, would it hurt anything not to pre-soak your oil filter? I don't really think it would hurt anything. I mean, as long as you got your oil inside your engine and in your oil pan, I think it would be fine, but it's just an ism type deal, I believe. You know, my dad always taught me to pre-soak my oil filter, you know, changing oil on a truck or four-wheeler or whatever, and his daddy probably said the same thing to him, and his daddy before his daddy, and all on down the road. So that's what I do. And like I said, I always like to make sure I get new gaskets and seals for this, because, you know, it can never hurt. I mean, you can probably get by a ride or an oil change with the previous gaskets, but it's still a good idea to change these out. Okay, so getting ready to put my oil filter in. Like I said, I had it pre-soaking in a cup here. And like I said, I noticed some guys in videos, they will not pre-soak their oil filter. And like I said before, I don't think it would hurt anything if you don't pre-soak your oil filter. Like I said, I think if you just make sure you have oil inside your engine, the correct amount, I think you'll be fine. But like I said, it's just one of these deals. You know, my dad always taught me to pre-soak my oil filters, and if I'm changing oil on anything. And oh, well, poopy. Forgot the most important part. See, I got rambling about stuff, and I forgot something. I forgot this little guy. Yep, forgot him. Yep, oh, get that off here. Yep. So yeah, it's always good to change out these gaskets. Get fresh gaskets in there, and like I said, I like to put waterproof grease around my gaskets when I put them back in, just to create a good seal, you know, and keep possible water from getting in there, and help seal it a little bit, like so. And like I said, these are new cover bolts because my goofball self, I think it was this one I stripped out. Yeah, I stripped out the bottom one the last time I changed my oil. And yeah, like I said, it's always good to change your oil. I mean, it won't hurt nothing if you change your oil too often. It can only, you know, be good for your bike. See, this is that's a T30. Yeah, suck that up real good. You don't want to use an impact, because like I said, you don't need to have these uberly tight. Like that. I'm just going to snug these up a little bit. Like so. Like that. Damn it. Yeah. Slowly building my YouTube channel here. It's kind of got away from filming rides, and see, you just want to snug them up a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Like that. Give that a little half turn. Yeah, nothing too strenuous. Okay, I want to roll with that, and I'll check that later on after I get the oil in it. Yeah, it's never a bad idea to change your oil more than you should, because keeping good, clean, quality oil in these machines, it's only going to help it run better and last longer. So it's always a good idea to do that. So I got the oil filter cover on. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel the need to keep my hand in this video. Oh yeah, I thought that's the engine right there. Yeah. Sorry, my ADD is showing. So got that on. I got my pre-soaked oil filter in there. So I've already got my drain bolts in. I got my drain bolt under the engine, and I got my drain bolt under the oil pan. And what I like to do is, where is that thing? Oh. It takes about 2 quarts. So I'll use this old AMSOIL that I've used before. I've used the ATV, UTV oil. It's pretty good too. Any type of AMSOIL is really good. So I'm going to pour a quart in the engine itself and a quart into the oil pan, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, and we're back. We got the oil in. So now I'm going to put the spark plug in. There you are. My new Sparky in with the correct gap set on it. Let's get it started, finger tight. And then I like to use the little socket and wrench setup that came in my tool pouch that I keep under my seat. Get that just finger tight at first. Let's see, come on, you're almost there. I know you're there. You're almost there. Let's tighten that up. Okay, it's finger tight. And like I said, I like to use my, what is that, a 14mm wrench. On the other side's a 17, and this bad boy is real handy to have. Get that in there. Get that in there. Which one was? Oh goodness. I think it was the 17mm side. And it was. Yeah, just want to snug that up like so. Like I say, you don't want to overly tighten anything. You just want to give it a good snug and recheck stuff if need be, and put that back on. Alright, yeah, really nothing to it but to do it. Alright, so that was the oil change. Like I said, it wasn't really a how-to tutorial, because I know there's tons of tutorial videos on these oil changes on these Raptors, and I just wanted to once again just stress the importance of routine maintenance. Like I said, it's important to have fun and be safe on these things, but it's more important to keep up with routine maintenance. So if you haven't changed your oil in a while, go ahead and get that baby changed. You know, give your engine what it wants, and that's good quality oil. And like I said, if you're in the market to try something different, I highly recommend you use AMS oil. It's been really good so far. It's a very reputable company, and a lot of guys like AMS oil, and I like it so far. And yeah, so that's that. Like I said, it's kind of pricey. This was over 60 bucks when I bought it offline, but like I said, you get what you pay for. So if you buy poo for something, you're going to get poo results. I know that was corny, but I have ADHD, so that just happens. All right, so let's get this baby fired up and we'll check our oil levels. Alrighty, I fired the bike up for about 5 minutes, and it's been off for a little bit now. So let's see what our levels are at. I probably should wait a little bit longer, but let's see. It's no big deal. So the manual states that you want to have it between the F and the E, full and empty line. My camera is not one to focus. And I think we're there. Alright. I usually will add another half a quart in if I feel the need to, but I think it's good right now. I'll just keep an eye on it and just play around with it and just check it again here in the next couple days and just go from there. So I'm trying to take a second look at my old spark plug. I know I thought kind of it was sooty, but I got better light on it. It looks kind of tannish brown. I mean, it could be good, but I just, where it's been lean popping, I just kind of figured there was some soot around it. But, you know, I got a fresh one in now, and I'm getting a dyno tune here soon. I was actually supposed to have a dyno tune today, but he had to order new software for his dyno, so that got postponed. So hopefully maybe get in this week later on and get this baby dyno tune. I know I haven't done a parts walk around on my machine yet. I'm going to hold off on that because I'm thinking about upgrading my Nerf bars because I've had these Albas since 2016 and just kind of getting a little bit dingy, a little bit of wear and tear there, but no big deal, it still works. Want to hold off on a parts walk around video, and my next video will probably be the dyno tune video. Want to get some footage of that and test it out after it's dynoed, and hopefully this thing runs even better than it did before. So yeah, a little bit different video. Important video, I feel, is just keeping up with the routine maintenance on your bike. And like I said, this isn't a how-to video. This is just showing y'all what I do and how I do it. I'm sure guys might do things differently than me, and that's okay. And I love to hear you guys in the comments. Just let me know in the comments how you change the oil and how often you change the oil, which means, just thought of this, I'm gonna check my hours. Let's see, yeah. You gotta love these older model Raptors. They have the ODO Speedo. So helpful. So I'm at 305.3 hours and a little over 4,200 miles. So I'll jot that down in my climber manual so I'll know when to do my next oil change. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and this video was helpful and insightful, and I encourage you guys to, you know, take care of your bikes. Just let me know, and like I said, just have fun on your bikes. Just keep them running healthy and keep them running, and just have fun and be safe. And keep you guys posted on the up and coming video next time. Until then, stay safe and Jesus loves you.